Rally Pally's here. We're going to bring Rally Pally into the studio in a moment. Who's Rally Pally? Well, you're going to find out. His name is Ralston van der Schyff. He's a remarkable South African musician and one who supported Zone Radio for the longest of times. And we're going to be chatting to him. He's a pianist. Amongst other things, he's just a concert musician, and we're going to be talking to him at around 10:30. His name is Ralston van der Schyff. We know him as Rally Pally. Why? Have a look at his Twitter handle. And he does some weird and wonderful things. He really does. He's an exceptional pianist. We're going to be talking to him about his career, and he's had an interesting life. But he also writes some very interesting songs. So this may be the strange time of the year to play a Christmas song, but we're going to play this one.
Jingle bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, ring-a-ling, hear them sing, soon it will be Christmas Day.
Well, Christmas is around the corner, but there's one part of bad luck. Someone won't be coming home today. Stuck up in some faraway land, strumming it out some country band. Christmas for me is just for another day.
I guess I won't be home for Christmas.
Working overtime has put my family time on the line.
I guess I won't be home to sing Christmas carols.
I'll be spending Christmas on the other side.
Alweer is ek nie by die huis. My pa's dik bek want my maak ook nie meer vleis. Dis net ek wat lekker kosies gaan kry. Nou is hy op 'n diet plan, suiker room in die kas, dit alles is geban.
We wish you a grote Christmas, we wish you a grote Christmas, we wish you a grote Christmas and a Happy New Year.
While being away from family and friends sometimes has its perks, especially from the ones you nag you all day. But when it comes to Christmas time, those hecklers seem to turn out just fine. I guess for them you only need to hope and pray.
I guess I won't be home for Christmas.
Working overtime has put my family time on the line.
I guess I won't be home to sing Christmas carols.
I'll be spending Christmas on the other side.
Boetie is hier deur die ei. Skielik chunk want hy present was hy kwai. Eerste is 'n iPhone die today. Maar prop hom vol met antiese tryfel kyk, hy brei die werk sy maagleker uit. Volgende jaar hou hy sy gat voor hy iets kan sê.
I guess I won't be home for Christmas.
Working overtime has put my family time on the line.
I guess I won't be home to sing Christmas carols.
I'll be spending Christmas on the other side.
I guess I won't be home for Christmas.
Working overtime has put my family time on the line.
I guess I won't be home to sing Christmas carols.
I'll be spending Christmas on the other side. I'll be
Spending Christmas.
I'll be spending it on the other side.
I won't be home for Christmas alweer. That's what he says. I don't know when last he was home for Christmas because he lives, where do you live in China? Or something, eh?
Shanghai, China.
Shanghai, well, I mean, that's China, isn't it? Or is it a different part of China?
That's the better part of China.
Is it a better part of China? Sit close to that microphone. We're speaking to Ralston van der Schyff. It's been a long time coming, eh? Tell us about that song. I mean, I said, who's these men that you're singing with? You said that's just you.
Yeah, I did all the voices.
Eh?
So I've
all the voices in your head.
all in my head. The guys that sing it, like the Coons in Cape Town, always had those memories. So I kind of tried to replicate that.
You certainly did. Ralston, or Rally Pally as we know him as, and that I've always it's always stuck. It's just such a lovely Twitter handle, Rally Pally. And you've certainly been a Pally of Zone Radio for a long time. It's good to have you in the studio with us after so long.
Yeah, thanks.
And you've been very supportive of Zone Radio. All right, so essentially that's not you. That's you having fun.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're a very serious classical pianist, are you not?
Too serious.
All right. Tell us about your background, Ralston.
Well, I first studied classical music at the Batsud Battered College Music. That's in Wynberg. But first, my dad first taught me for maybe one of the first 2-3 years. And then I went there. Then after that, I studied jazz at the Jazz Workshop with Merton Barrow and George Werner. And then I went to Cape Tech. I did a business degree there.
Oh, so from music straight into business.
Music and, well, at the same time.
It's a clever move.
Yeah,
It's a clever move.
And yeah, so the business side helped. Actually, later on it came in handy, knowing how to do the business side of the music. And then, of course, the other was the creative side.
But you started, I mean, you were 7 years old when this bug bit, weren't you?
Yeah, 6, 7. That's my dad first taught me at that age. So.
But now, what was it that grabbed you about it? What was it that made you decide this is what I want to do?
I've been probably having like dreams, or let's say I've been daydreaming. Okay, just sitting at the grand piano in front of an audience, and I've always had that kind of daydream and vision in my mind of doing. I didn't know when it would happen, but that's the vision I always had as when I was young. So, and I think slowly, obviously, certain events in life played out, and this is what I'm doing. Exactly what I was dreaming, basically, of doing. So, yeah.
So if you have the dream, you can achieve it. Basically, that's what you were saying.
Yep.
But it's been hard work along the way, hasn't it?
It is hard work. I used to play for when I started gigging out. I was gigging with drummer Herschel May and Dion Morris and Paul Salvage, and
a lot of it jazz, though, eh?
yeah, but it was basically a jazz band. I met actually all those musicians I met through when I was playing in the Biggish band.
I remember the Biggish. It was called the Biggish.
Yanni Hannepoort and the Biggish band. I think it's still going on now.
He was the trumpeter, Yanni Hannepoort.
The trombone.
Trombone.
That's right.
What was it called? It was the Biggish brass band or something like that.
Yeah.
Very good stuff that they used to do. Were you with that?
I was when it started out. I was part of it.
I didn't realize that.
And through them, I've met different people along the way at gigs and then events and so forth. And used to play for no money, play for just the food, the free food.
It's still happening, believe me, it's still happening. So you established yourself in this country first, didn't you?
Yeah, just on a kind of part-time basis. So I was still doing some kind of like other jobs, daytime job, and then music I was doing part-time.
Okay, what other jobs were you doing?
I was something in the auditing, accounting, financial side. So
okay,
and then, but I always look forward to finishing work so I could do the gig. So eventually, I just made the move to just give it up.
Okay, tell us about that, and tell us about how risky that was for you.
Well, obviously, the good part is that you're getting a regular income with a normal job, and doing the music on a part time was just something. It's good to do, and then maybe I just didn't pitch up at work in time, and they probably got tired of me. Tired of me coming late. So they don't want me anymore. And then from there I decided to put more emphasis on the...
Was it a decision you made or a decision they made for you?
Well, they kind of directed me.
No. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of politicians that end up getting directed. Okay.
Yes, and I used to do like shows through Herschel to do some like on what's that place called, on Broadway Theatre, and I met a guy Glenn Swart and Charles van Heinigen I worked with as well, and some various on the show side. And I did one show with Ilse Klink on Broadway Theatre in Greenpoint, was still there. So all these little shows and little restaurant gigs, and another guy Edgar Seiss I worked with, he got me work doing little restaurants and little hotels. So I met various people that actually helped me progress. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here.
I think everybody needs that though, and the nice thing is now you're able to do it for somebody else, which is also very cool. But you also got teamed up with the guys from Freshly Ground, didn't you?
I did one show with Zolani.
Yeah,
it was a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald.
Yes.
And there it was, Solani on vocals, Graham Jacobs on bass, and Herschel on drums, and myself. Just a trio. And trio, and of course
and Zulani.
And Zulani.
What a voice!
Yeah.
What a voice!
Yeah. And of course the good sound engineer Jeff Going.
Yeah, a good sound engineer, very important, very, very important. But Hooked on Swing was another project of yours in about 2004.
Hooked on Swing was with Charles and Heineken and Beverly Ringquest. And that was the swing show. And then we had again Herschel, Graham, and then later on Keith Bauer-Schmidt, he joined because Herschel left for the States. And then Keith Bauer-Schmidt, he joined us for the rest of the shows. And then in 2005, I left for China with Eldred Schilder.
Okay, now we're going to ask about that because that would have been a massive decision.
Yep.
Was China a place that you were interested in? Was it something that just came up? How did that happen?
Well, the agent was... He already had musicians in China.
South African musicians?
Yeah, South African musicians. Tracy Butler, Lionel Bucas, and Ibrahim Khalil. And they were already there in China at the Hilton Hotel. And then the management wanted to have a change of band, something different. And then Eldred Schilder asked, I was working with Eldred for a while, and then I joined him and Beverly, and we put together a trio, and then we were just supposed to go for...
No, I've forgotten now.
Elaine's
song. There we go. She's sitting there. She doesn't want to talk. You want to talk? Put it on the microphone. She doesn't want to talk because she uses some very choice Afrikaans words, this lady. We heard her. You've taught her all the right words. You know that?
Yep.
Eh?
Yep. First things first.
First things first. But how cool is that to be involved with a man in music, involved with a lady whose surname is Song?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lovely, absolutely. She's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. Now, you're living there and you're working full time. What's it like? Because, a lot of people they just imagine China.
Yeah, maybe they're still thinking there are people on rickshaws.
Yeah. Are they not there?
Nope.
No rickshaws?
Nope.
What's become of China?
It's all fast trains.
Very fast trains.
Very fast trains and technology and, everybody has a cell phone.
It's at everybody has and internet everywhere.
And internet everywhere.
Yeah.
On the bus.
Like I said, we're lucky we have internet where it's supposed to be. We're lucky. You've got it everywhere. On the bus, on the bicycle, on the train.
Yep.
And you're living in Shanghai?
In Shanghai now, yeah.
It's a big city that, eh?
Yep. 22 million, 23 million.
That's kind of half our population in one city.
Yep.
And what are living conditions like? I mean, you come back to South Africa and your folks probably staying in like a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house or something like that. There's not a lot of that in China.
I'm staying about a tenth of the size of my parents' home. Yeah, but it's enough for a single person or just for the two of us. It's enough. We don't need a big.
Is it an apartment, a house?
Yeah, it's all apartments.
All apartments.
Yeah. If the houses maybe on the outskirts, maybe in the farm areas or something.
And are they very expensive?
In the city.
In the city.
Very expensive. So maybe per square meter, 10,000.
Per square meter is 100,000.
Yeah, per square meter is 100,000.
Which is a 200.
Yeah, so let's say so per square meter it's about 200,000 rand.
So we can only afford a toilet.
Yep.
You can only turn her on there. She's an absolute treat. She really is. No, we're going to have to put the microphone on. Put the microphone. No. Elaine, you've got to talk to us. Come on. Hey? You've got to talk to us. And then we're going to ask some. We're going to ask now. We're going to find the truth now because we're going to speak to Elaine because we'll ask Rally Pally questions here and he'll give us the answer he thinks we want to hear. Now we're going to hear the truth because she knows the truth. How much for a toilet in China?
Toilet usually is about 3 to 4 square meter if you're lucky. A big one.
A big toilet.
A big toilet.
Okay.
So it's about 200,000 per square meter, which is a 600,000 of rand.
For a toilet?
For a toilet, yeah.
Have you got a toilet? Sorry, have you got a toilet?
We're lucky.
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is save up for a toilet.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah.
Toilet is most important. This man writes music in the toilet. So
he does.
It's very important.
Yeah, you see, now we're getting the truth. We're getting the truth here now. So he writes music in the toilet. And it is a bedroom next to the toilet. Or Do they do like the double-decker thing? So
No,
toilet with a loft?
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Eh?
Definitely not.
Tell me, how did the two of you meet?
I was at the Hilton Hotel, and she just came back from Australia, and she worked.
Working in the bar.
Yeah. In the
So
bar.
obviously I was touched because I also play piano since I was 5. So I guess I really touched by his music, and it was so different away from other musicians. It was very, very like nice. So he always said I seduced him, which I admit.
Come to my house, I'll show you my toilet. And you were taken by his music, and then one thing led to another.
Yeah.
And the two of you to be together how long now?
We married 5 years now, but we know each other 7 years before. 6 years.
6 years.
Oh, 6 years in total. Yeah, 6.
6 years. Wonderful. That's an absolutely amazing story. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, this is the question. Marrying Elaine, you're now Chinaman.
No.
Not?
You need to earn money to become Chinese. Lots of money. Yeah.
So you can't just because of marriage get Chinese nationality?
No.
You can't?
No. You got to, if you can show you, it's almost like Lobola or something.
Oh, Lobola.
If you got, no, for the government.
Oh, for the government. Okay. All right. No. Look, everything there's owned by the government. The whole lot is owned by the government. All right. It's absolutely amazing having you. It's fascinating. I mean, who would have thought that South African musicians are out in China making careers for themselves? And it's not like you're just doing a gig over there. Like you are there.
Yeah.
It's like you're part of that whole economy, part of that whole lifestyle,
Yeah.
part of everything.
Also treating it as a business as opposed to just a gig.
Yeah.
If you treat it as a business, it just makes you more focused as opposed to waiting for something to happen. So getting it and promoting. Spend time doing my own promotions where I can, like online and so forth. And so investing in that and trying to do so basically looking for your own work and
So you haven't got this regular gig at the hotel anymore.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
still got
I
that's
still
still
got
there,
it, yeah.
but over and above that.
over and above is just if there are certain events, then I would do the events, and usually everything is booked through the agency.
A Chinese agency.
The Chinese agency,
Yes.
yeah. So they would, so she would book, or the company would book if they need entertainment anywhere. But generally, I do contract work, so hotel contract work.
And do you speak the language, Ralston?
Just enough to ask for things, get things, but no serious
Because
conversations.
it's a very difficult language.
Yeah, you got to get the tones right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I tried speaking Chinese once. Somebody gave me a Sinotab. You
You got to
don't
be careful. You got to be careful with the tones, because the same word spelled the same, it just said differently. So one can mean noodles and the same word as tampon or something. So
so you could get it.
so you got to be careful what you ask for.
So when you go home and put it in the boiling water, you get a whole different experience to what you. Huh?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah, the one you can eat, the other one, all your water's gone. You know what I mean? All right. Let's listen now. I've got, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep the song that you wrote. We've got 2 other songs of yours here that we want to play. And I'm going to keep the one that you wrote for your mother till the end, because I
Okay.
think that is very, very special. But this next track, funny enough, this is on the SA Music Zone playlist for this evening, just by coincidence. And it is that song called Red Lanterns. How many albums have you made?
Everything is still in progress. So I'm busy with kind of 5, which is different genres. One is a full album Christmas. One is a kind of a smooth jazz orchestral thing. So it takes a lot of work to actually do everything yourself, do all the instruments and the scoring.
You play all those instruments yourself as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do the kind of put it together.
Amazing. Really very talented South African musician, now living in China alongside the lovely Elaine Song. What a wonderful name. When I asked her name, I was like nervous because, I was going to say it at some point during this interview and then sound like I have like a bad cold. But anyway, I didn't have to do that because Elaine, is it really Elaine? I mean,
No, of course, but my surname is Song.
Song.
Obviously, my Chinese name is, something else.
What is it?
Song Yue Wen.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. All right. Here's Ralston Fun Escape, Red Lanterns.
On a clear but starless night, shadows move toward the light. Curiosity is taken hold to peek inside. On a table just beside, men play games while children hide. Scents and flavors fill the air from night till break of day. Red lanterns light the way, parading work and play. Pleasure, excitement, mystery, mesmerizing your mind. On the corner you will find girls in cheap house all too kind. Smiles and charm capture your soul in this place. Red lanterns glow. Lanterns light the way, parading work and play. Pleasure, excitement, mystery, mesmerizing your mind. On the corner you will find girls in cheap house all too kind. Smiles and charm capture your soul in this place. Red lanterns glow.
There we go. That is the sound of our guest this morning in the studio, Ralston van der Schyff. That song is called Red Lanterns, and that was sent to us some time ago. How did you find out about Zone Radio? Because it's like, next thing we got music sent in, and in fact, you said to me in the first email, when you sent the first song, which was your mother's song, Audrey's Waltz, you said, I don't know whether you guys will play this, but here it is, have a listen.
Okay,
and remember, and then I said, but why wouldn't we play it? You know what I mean? So how did you discover us?
I think maybe I've seen something on Facebook page, or maybe I just on the internet, I just was going through maybe some South African sites or something. I think maybe it was on Facebook. There was a link or something. I can't remember for sure. But either Facebook or maybe a Google. I just stumbled on the internet.
And you were in China at the time,
I was
eh?
in China at that time, yeah.
I didn't know that we were getting music from you in China. I thought you were here in Cape Town. I didn't know that you were, trying to protect yourself from Elaine and She did. Apparently she threw herself at you.
Yep.
This is what you're telling us. Eh?
Yeah, I allowed her to follow me home. So
You're not hey, yeah. You're getting a look there, Paul. You're getting a look. Eh? Yeah. All right. Are you comfortable there, Elaine?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good. Do you play piano with him?
Yeah, once.
Once?
yeah, there's a video somewhere.
Is it?
Just one song. Is it? I think it's on Facebook.
Is she any good?
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
Not anymore, but you used to be very good.
Who, you? But why did you stop?
Well, as a child, we all learned music by, forced by our parents. But you find love afterwards, after years practice, and you actually find there is love in there. That's the moment that you truly want to play music and listen music.
And you heard him?
Oh, yes.
And there was love?
Oh, yes.
All right. Okay, so you pack up your stuff, you go to China, and you're expecting to be away for 3 months. All of a sudden it becomes 6 months, and then all of a sudden you're there. The two of you meet. You get married in China?
Yep, in China, yeah.
Is that like a different experience to being married anywhere else in the world?
We didn't marry in China.
Yeah.
There we go. You didn't get married in
No,
China.
we did. We just did the registration. Like we would do the registration on the wedding day.
Yeah.
So we did the registration first, and then we had the party here in Cape Town.
Oh, okay. So you came here to do the...
Because it was much better weather.
Is the weather bad there?
It's not as, the air's not as fresh as, obviously, as Cape Town. Yeah. Over here we don't measure air quality. There you have to measure.
You do,
Got
eh?
measurements for air quality
And sound.
and sound.
Yes, because 25 million people in a very small space make a lot of noise. Eh?
Yeah, they can make a lot of noise.
Yeah. All right.
I
So
won't say we.
okay. So let's take it away from music for a little bit. By the way, Wild Rider is saying really enjoying this chat. Welcome to Ralston and Elaine. That's Wild Rider on the WhatsApp. Thank you, Mr. Rider. And let's take it away from the music. We know you're a damn fine pianist. We know that you can do everything: jazz, swing, rock, if you wanted to, classical. You do it all. But tell us about sort of life in the day, a day in the life of Ralston van der Schyff in China, because we don't get an opportunity to speak to too many musicians that are in a country that still to this day, funny enough, even with the internet, is still pretty much of an unknown quantity. It's like,
I've been hiding.
yeah. It's like a sleeping giant there, taking over Africa, country by country. But I mean, that's another story. Huh? She may have even been aided for like next thing you leave, we lost Netbank. Okay. What is it like, the day-to-day life in China for somebody? Look, for Elaine, she grew up there. For her, it's a normal. But for you, this is a new normal.
Yeah.
And how have you adjusted to that?
Well, look, when I first went there, we obviously stayed in the hotel. So we were lucky that we could be surrounded by at least English-speaking people. And the area we were in is kind of central and more like touristy. So we didn't have to worry about learning the language too much because everything was provided for us there. So we were lucky in terms of that thing. So the life was kind of, getting up in the morning. The entire day is free. And the gig only starts at 9 o'clock. And that was, do whatever you want to do during the day. And then just prepare for...
work at night.
For work at night. Well, not really prepare, just do the gig.
Okay.
It's supposed to be prepared.
Okay, no. We'll leave it that you do prepare. We'll leave it that you do prepare. Okay.
So now it's some days I do solo afternoon gigs, and then some in the evenings again. So 3 days of the week it's
You're working.
a double shift.
Okay. Are you working every day of the week or just those 3?
No, 3 days is long days, and then the other 3 days are just in the evenings. Is it 1, 2? Yeah. So I'm working six days a week.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
The South African musicians here that are not getting that kind of work.
Yeah, so I'm very, very fortunate for that.
And from the point of view of getting known in China, look, it's a big place. Are you getting well known there? Are people coming along because they want to hear you perform, or they just there and happen to hear you perform?
Well, it's kind of, if you're there and you'll only be, for example, like Cape Town, all the musicians know, most of them know each other. So we all know who's playing where and who's who. So in terms of the musicians, we all know obviously who everybody else is. The only ones that would come back are ones that heard before, guests that have heard you before, and so maybe they're coming on business. So they would come back to see you, if they know you in town. They would come back, or maybe by chance, maybe after 2 years, they say, "Oh, you're still here in China," and then they would, if they're still in town for a few days, they will come back again. So, but in terms of the locals, only a few. So it's not like a big following. Okay, so I'm not famous. I'm just there, somebody just playing the piano.
Well, you know what? Sometimes famous has its own downfalls. You know what I mean? And you become too famous in China. Look out! Look out! So now you moved out of the hotel environment and you're living in. Are you still living in a hotel?
No, I stay in my own apartment.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. You were in a hotel. You were living in a hotel when you started out.
That's right.
Now you bought a toilet and a room.
Yep, that's right.
And that's something completely different again, isn't it?
Yep.
But that's what you told me, Lan. You got a toilet and a room.
Yes.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
That's true.
We tried to buy another toilet. But
You want to buy? Hey? Become a double toilet family. Yes. So, transportation, motor vehicles. I would imagine in a city like Shanghai, motor vehicles, they're not. First of all, you don't want to be driving one there, but I mean, yeah.
Well, the public transport is highly efficient. You don't actually need a car to get anywhere. Maybe if you're staying on the outskirts of town, maybe, and you want to take the car in, but you generally don't need. And a lot of people ride motorcycle or scooters, which is more convenient. But the public transport system, metros, the bus, the taxis, it's highly efficient. It's trains are on time, buses are on time, basically. You don't, and you can walk.
Yeah, we would just be happy to have the train run, let alone be on time. Be on time would be a bonus, you know what I mean? It would be an earth-shattering event if there was a metro train on time. We just want to get them going.
Yeah.
The public transport system makes it so. Do you own a car? Do you own a scooter? Do you own nothing?
Yeah, we've got a scooter.
And the two of you pop on the scooter?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do they also do this thing in Shanghai where like 19 people get on the scooter? Because I was in Thailand and I know it's not...
I've seen 4 on 1 before.
4 on 1. Yeah. But there, like the whole family is on there with a couple of chickens and off they go. You know what I mean? I'm sure Shanghai is not that.
I haven't seen
first world city, but yeah. And outskirts, have you had an opportunity to go out and see the... because it's an incredible culture.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an ancient, it's Chinese culture, unbelievable. I mean, there's stuff going on there that goes back thousands and thousands of years, and it's all there on your doorstep. Have you had an opportunity to get, first of all, do you see much of that in Shanghai, and have you had an opportunity to get out beyond the city to...
Well, you still got, what's it, downtown, eh? The
old town.
The old Shanghai town. So if you want to experience something, let's say more traditional or something, you can go just get a taste of what it was like a few like back in the day or something, which is still there. But otherwise, then you got your little water towns.
Water towns.
Yeah,
explain
that's where water towns. It's like little small.
It's like a Venice.
Yeah, almost like little Venices.
It's river instead.
So little towns with little bridges, similar to Venice, and the water, like rivers running, and you can take little canoe type boats.
And people live on the water on sort of pedestaled houses, or is it just...
Yeah, something like that. That's where I got the idea for that song, Water City.
Okay, all right.
That's where they came from.
It's very, very interesting. It must be fascinating to wake up in that place and just know that there's so much that you can still... For somebody who is not born and bred, I mean, very often we overlook, Elaine, the magic that is on our own doorstep. We do it here. You know, people, you come to Cape Town, look at Table Mountain and think, wow, look at that. And for us Cape Townians, all it is like it's a hassle to get past it, to get to Hart Bay. You know what I mean? Because it's in the way. And maybe we should just turn it into a parking lot. I don't know. But for you, I mean, there must be so much. And the amazing thing is that you've got this amazing lady with you who has divine sense of humor. She would have to be. She married you, and you've got this person who is like almost like, pardon the phrase, but almost your own personal tour guide for this amazing place. Isn't that just absolutely awesome? And that must be so much. Give you so much inspiration for your music.
Yeah, it does. I'm still working on a song.
You're still working on a song. Have you written a song for her yet?
Yep.
Have you?
It's just not finished.
No, come on now, Ralston. Come on.
In entirety.
In entirety.
It must be good. It mustn't just be there. It must be done properly.
Are you one of these musicians that likes to have everything like 100% perfect before you let it go?
Not 100, more than 100%.
More than 100%. In which case, like, that's why you're still working on 5 albums and we haven't got one yet.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Hey, Elaine, am I right?
Yeah. Yes, I keep asking him. I say, "Where's my song, hubby?" He's like, "Yeah, it's coming.
Because every time you think it's finished, a new idea pops up, and then you know it's actually better and it needs to be worked on more.
I think what's got to happen here now, we're going to negotiate you because we need the album. Really, you've been around so long, and there's like you can't bring us a CD and say, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? No, and you're better than that. So I'm now, like I said, I don't know where these things go when I discuss them. So it's going here now. Okay, it's going here. Let's negotiate, Elaine. Let's negotiate. I think there's certain privileges, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more, that need to be withheld until he's finished your song. Okay? Then maybe you can just relax a little with him until he's finished an album.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you need to take control here. I think you need to take control here and sort it out so that he produces it. So where to from here now? I mean, are there plans to come back to South Africa? It's a tough thing. You've left family behind. Elaine would need to leave family. What is the or is there no plan?
Well, yeah, kind of now the plan is to stay there.
Yeah.
Because the work is there. And that's kind of the intermediate short plan. I don't really have any long plan because things can change
all the time.
overnight,
They change.
Yeah. So my plan is based on whatever's happening around me because I change my mind all the time. And some I can't make up my mind.
Enter Elaine.
No, she's fine.
Yeah, she must make her mind up for you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what we go. Choose my food for me.
So you've got 5. Well, this is bizarre, guys. This is really okay. So you've got 5 albums in the mix, in the making.
Yeah,
5
in the making. Yeah,
and they're not finished yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
The songs are the songs are there. Just the entire production, it's not complete because I can the songs are there. Let's say just voice and piano. But the other instruments, the orchestra needs to be.
Okay. Now, what other instruments do you play?
No, admit now with the computer you can put the bass lines in, and you can program your drums, and you can score the orchestra, and you have obviously the samples, the software that can play. You basically have your own band or orchestra on your computer because all the technology is there. So all I do is write the parts, score the parts for and then play the parts using obviously the software that's there. So I don't have anybody. Let's say session musicians coming in to play it. Maybe if it's something very difficult, I could get there. But and also in terms of costs, if I can do it myself, then save on the costs. And I think the only time I would use outside is maybe for mixing and the fine production, mixing and mastering. Like I asked my friend who's staying in Florida. He did the Red Lanterns. Final mix because obviously he's the professional at doing that. I'm just basic mixing,
put it together,
putting it together. So
and then you send it over to him, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, high speed internet. It's gone there in a flash, and it arrives there in a flash.
Yeah, that's right.
Here we would be downloading it for 4 weeks, if we were lucky. Chinese music, Chinese musicians, are there? Is there much of that going on in Shanghai?
There's a lot of Chinese musicians as well. Also on the jazz side, some very good jazz musicians as well. But most of them, I think, are still kind of on classical and pop. Very few that can, and it's also a small. And it's getting bigger now, but the crowd to actually appreciate the music, especially on the jazz side, slowly the audience is getting bigger, the understanding is getting bigger. So, yeah, there's a lot of good musicians there.
Is it a festival culture, a music festival culture?
We have every year about this time of year in October. There's what we call the Jay-Z Jazz Festival, and there's like the club, the jazz club that. It's kind of like a mini company, so they arrange the entire festival, bring international acts. So every year there's an international jazz festival, but there are other music festivals during the year as well that takes place. So maybe let's say 4 or 5 festivals every year.
This is just in Shanghai.
Just in Shanghai. Yeah.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. All right, who are your music inspirations?
For piano, I listened to a lot of Oscar Peterson, Bill Evans, Keith Jarrett, and Chick Corea. Those were the kind of how did I say 4?
Yeah,
4 or 5 main pianists that I listened to at that time. And over here, locally, like obviously Dollar Brand, Ibrahim. I listened to. I heard actually, obviously, I heard Ibrahim play live as well, so it's also nice. And Carl Shipp, I like his playing. It's not recent now. I like his music as well.
All right. So what I've got is a bit of a surprise here for you, because what I have got is I've got the Oscar Peterson trio here with Lester Young. So we'll take this. It's a song called "I Can't Give You Anything But Love."
Thank you.
Well, there we go. The music just stopped. We have to set up the mic. We have to talk now. Hey? Shame poor old Elaine. She's been sitting there with those headphones on, wondering why on earth must she wear these things? We forgot to turn her headphones on. Hey? It's amazing that she heard anything. She was lip reading. I'm not too sure. Oh my goodness. We've had an amazing time. So you're not performing. You're not performing in Cape Town.
It's just a short, just to come and see family and a few friends.
How often do you get a chance to come back?
I used to come back every year, and I used to stay for a month each time. So I think this is the shortest because I was changing. I was between contracts, so I need to first secure the work before I could. To take a holiday and then come back again.
So the work's secured now.
So the work is
also. So you go back to.
I just go back to the same. Well, hopefully, to the same job. I'd get somebody to replace me.
Okay.
For a while.
So was that a South African person that you've got to replace you?
No, it's a local Chinese pianist. It'll just fill up.
Are there really some like some serious Chinese music proteges on piano and?
Very good.
Classical music big.
Mostly classical, I think, yeah.
It's very big.
Yeah, there's a few, like I said, a few extremely good jazz musicians. I know one guy used to work with us. He plays all soprano, alto, tenor, sax, electric wood instruments, fluent. It's just, and also soulfully as well, not just.
Okay.
So,
what have I got here? Bianca Kaiser, morning all. I just woke up. I fell down the stairs at my mother's house. Okay. Hurting my arm and completely breaking your ankle. They gave me Panado. Really? So I'm struggling severely with pain until my mom comes over with stronger painkillers. Well, let's hope she's got better than Panado. Eh? Goodness gracious me. We hope Bianca is also a South African singer. And she's just come back from Australia.
Okay.
and then fell down the stairs. Goodness gracious me, that's really bad news, Bianca. Sorry to hear that. We'll check on you and see how you are. There we go. She's now sending me a photograph of her broken foot. Wow! Goodness gracious me, that is nasty. Shame. All right, so you're on holiday, there's no music plans, you're not performing, you're just letting it go, relaxing, kicking back, and seeing the sights and sounds of Cape Town. Yep. That's basically it.
That's it, yeah.
What area did you grow up in when you were younger?
In Wynberg.
In Wynberg?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Shane came in here and said that you were at school. What school was it?
The primary school is Methodist.
Yeah.
And then high school was Witterbome, which is just opposite each other.
And Shane said that you were at school with his fiancée, Anthea's sister.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. Hayden I sent a message further up saying, hope you feel better soon. No, I'm fine. You fine? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Len?
Yes.
Must be talking about Bianca. Listen, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I wish we had more time together. I really do, because you kind of just get to know somebody. And this is why we do these things for an hour, Ralston, so that people can get... We know you play piano beautifully. We've got your music. We can share your music. But it's an opportunity for people to get to know the man behind the music, get to know you more on a personal level. And hopefully they'll walk away from listening to this today and they'll say, I know him. I know him, and that's the idea behind why we do this for an hour. Otherwise, we could have brought you in for 15 minutes, ask you 20 questions, and let you go. But we don't really want to do that. So thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for taking time out of what is effectively your holiday to kind of do, in inverted commas, some work. You know what I mean?
No, I enjoyed this. Thank you for the...
But promise us this, and I'm going to be looking there in Elaine's direction because I know that she'll make it happen. That you will send us more of your music.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's good music. And the song that we're going to play now, tell us the background to this song. It's called Audrey's Waltz, and it's a waltz for my mother. Tell us a little bit about the background to that.
Well, I was thinking of writing a song, just a song of appreciation for my mom, because she's always been supporting me, especially if you want to be doing music on a full-time basis. And so she was always, you always get people saying, okay, so what is your real job? You know, still going around like that.
Do people still ask you that question? What's your real job? Yeah.
So I think it's just for someone that's always been supportive, 100%, no matter what. And
always believed.
Yeah. So the kind of the melody and the rhythm is just something that's who's very carefree and caring. And I try to capture that in a waltz. As opposed to, I think a waltz is more kind of beautiful way of, or what's the word, movement. It's maybe it probably depicts it kind of depicts the graceful movements and way of caring and compassion. I try to capture that in that way. So,
that's a song that we're going to play out with, and I think it's a beautiful song. In fact, it was the first one that you sent us.
I think so, yeah.
Before we go, I need you to do a drop-in for us, okay? And this is how this works.
Okay.
You just say who you are, what radio station people are listening to. It's as simple as that.
All right. I'm Ralston van der Schijf, and I'm listening to...
No, not you listening.
Me?
No. Me.
And we are listening.
Yeah, no.
But I am listening as well. You're going to teach me these things.
What can I say, Elaine? I mean, really? Is this toilet big enough? Is the question I'm asking. Right. Must I help you with this now?
Please help me.
I am Ralston van der Schijf.
I'm Ralston van der Schijf.
No, wait now.
Oh, okay.
and you are listening to Zone. Okay, right. Put that together.
All right, let me see. Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
I'm Ralston van der Schijf, and you are listening to Zone Radio.
It's easy.
Yeah, very easy.
It's easy. Listen, thank you both so much. Elaine.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I wish we could have spent more time with the both of you. What you are a very lucky man, Ralston. You are a very, very lucky man to have found that lady. Albeit the fact that she was chasing you around like a fortune cookie.
Yeah.
But I mean, But it was a very smart move to say, okay, I'm in. You know what I mean? Yeah. To actually say, okay. She's a stunning lady, absolutely beautiful, lovely smile. We're going to take photographs now. We're going to have to put her in the photograph, I'm afraid. We're going to have to do that. Yes.
Yay.
And thank you so much for your time this morning. But above all else, thank you so much for your music.
Thank you very much, Richard.
That's Ralston van der Schyff, our guest this morning, and with him his lovely wife, Elaine. A Song is her name. How appropriate.